I want to bring in Democrat Ohio State Senator Capri Cafaro. You were telling me your phone all morning, all day long. It's people are scared to death.
People are certainly scared. I think that, sometimes you always think it's not going to happen to you, right? It's going to happen any place else in the world but in your backyard. And so, while my district is way far in northeastern Ohio, obviously our state capital is Columbus. So, we have an intrinsically linked relationship with that university, the whole state, but certainly the city of Columbus. So, we have interns that are from Ohio State. We have pages that are from Ohio State. We have a number of Ohio State alumni, myself included. I got my second master's degree there in social work a number of years ago. So it is very unnerving, but I do want to commend the law enforcement that was on the scene to be able to handle this in an expeditious manner.
And there's absolutely no doubt that their performance, particularly to your point, no one ever thinks it's going to happen to them. It happened, and they responded, and it's been amazing. But now that it has happened, there are a lot of lingering questions, particularly, you and I were talking, and Jerry Willis just mentioned the notion that perhaps someone pulled the fire alarm. We had Rod Wheeler on, who also attended Ohio State, Detective Wheeler, and he talked about classes changing at 10 o'clock. So there was a distinct effort, perhaps, for maximum carnage to have as many people outside as possible.
Yeah, that is the intelligence that I'm getting from Columbus as well, both from local news reports as well as anecdotally from folks that are in Columbus and around Ohio State, that a fire alarm was pulled inside of this building, conceivably to move these people out. And, you could only assume, as much as we don't want to, speculate at this point, but you could only assume that if this would have had to have been a coordinated effort where someone inside knew that there was a, critical mass of students inside that building, they pulled the fire alarm, whoever, this person was that decided to drive into traffic, so to speak, drive into this crowd, and then get out and start stabbing people. I mean, those two things would more likely than not have gone together and had been coordinated.
So such a coordinated effort perhaps doesn't sound like just some angry student who just got angry one day and just said, I'm going to go off. This obviously took a certain degree of planning. And again, it's going to raise suspicions that maybe this was not just a fit of anger.
Again, we can only speculate at this point, but definitely it raises some questions for me that, when you have campus shooting circumstances, typically it is, one person that shoots into a crowd. I know that there was, discussion that there were shots fired, but it sounds like most of the injuries sustained were actually directly from stab wounds and not from gunshots, with the exception of the individual that was perpetrating this crime that was, shot by law enforcement. So, whether or not that is true or not, who knows? But there are a lot of unanswered questions here that I'm sure that we're going to, be seeking answers in the upcoming days.
Wow. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Knowing this
under
so
these sad circumstances.
Yeah, thanks.